Football isn't just about goals and trophies, it's about recognition. Every player dreams of being crowned the best in the world. In 2003, Thierry Henry delivered one of the greatest individual seasons the Premier League has ever seen. He was unstoppable, he was magic. And yet, when the Ballon d'Or was handed out, he wasn't the winner. Instead, the award went to Juventus star Pavel Nedvěd. Was Thierry Henry robbed? Let's dive into it. 2003, Thierry Henry was on top of the world. Week after week, he destroyed defenses in the Premier League, leaving fans in awe and opponents in despair. By the end of that season, he had scored goals, created goals, and produced moments of magic that still live in highlight reels today. And yet, when the most prestigious individual award in football was handed out, the Ballon d'Or, Henry was not the winner. The trophy went instead to Juventus midfielder Pavel Nedvěd. Was Thierry Henry robbed? Let's start with the numbers, because they were absolutely ridiculous. In the Premier League, Thierry Henry scored 24 goals. But what made the season historic was his creativity. He also recorded 20 assists. To this day, no striker in England has matched that combination of scoring and playmaking in a single campaign. He was a one-man highlight reel. Solo goals where he glided past defenders, outside of the foot assists that cut open backlines, free kicks bent into the top corner. Arsenal may have finished second in the league, behind Manchester United. But Henry's influence was undeniable. Every attack flowed through him. In the FA Cup, Henry helped Arsenal reach the final. In the Champions League, he still delivered big goals. Even if Arsenal didn't go far, that season wasn't just about stats. It was about the way Henry played. Effortless elegance, deadly pace. A striker who could just as easily beat 5 defenders as he could set up a teammate with a perfectly weighted pass. So how did the Ballon d'Or voting go? The top 3 in 2003 looked like this. Pavel Nedvěd first with 190 points, Thierry Henry second with 128 points, and Paolo Maldini third with 123 points. Nedved's case was strong. He was the heartbeat of Juventus. That year, Juve won Serie A, and in Europe, Nedvěd led them all the way to the Champions League final. His semi-final display against Real Madrid, capped with a stunning long-range goal, became iconic. But here's the twist: Nedvěd actually missed the Champions League final due to suspension. Juventus lost that final to AC Milan, and many still debate whether the Ballon d'Or should have gone to a player who didn't even feature in the biggest game of the year. Meanwhile, Henry's case was built on individual dominance. He didn't have the Champions League glory, but he had the stats, the magic, and the consistency. In terms of sheer attacking numbers, nobody in Europe came close to him. When the result was announced, many fans and pundits were stunned. How could a player with 44 direct goal contributions in the toughest league in the world lose out? Even Pavel Nedvěd himself admitted afterwards, "If I had voted, I would have voted for Thierry." That says everything. But the 2003 decision highlighted 2 key factors in Ballon d'Or voting. First, team success matters more than individual brilliance. Nedvěd won Serie A and reached a Champions League final. Henry, despite his stats, only had a second-place Premier League finish. Second, the Premier League bias. Back then, the Ballon d'Or was still heavily influenced by continental Europe. Serie A and La Liga were seen as superior leagues, and the Premier League wasn't rated as highly as it is today. This meant Henry's genius in England didn't carry the same weight with voters as Nedved's performances in Italy. 2003 was the closest Henry ever came to lifting the Ballon d'Or. He finished second that year, and would later finish third in 2006, but he never won it. For many, that 2003 snub defined the narrative around his career. The most complete striker of his generation, a player who could score, create and lead, but who never got the ultimate individual award. And yet, maybe that's part of his greatness, because when we talk about Thierry Henry today, we don't measure him by trophies. We measure him by moments, by the way he glided past defenders, by the way he made football look effortless, by the fear he struck into every backline he faced. Some legends don't need a Ballon d'Or to validate their status. Henry is one of them. So was Thierry Henry robbed in 2003? Statistically, absolutely. Narratively, maybe not, because football awards have always favored trophies and big European moments. But here's the thing: greatness isn't always measured in golden balls. For Arsenal fans, for Premier League fans, and for football fans worldwide, Thierry Henry will always be remembered as one of the greatest to ever play the game. What do you think? Should Henry have won the Ballon d'Or in 2003? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more football deep dives.